Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to video 4, How to Grow and Sustain Your Success, the fourth and final video in the series of Dream Builder Secrets, How to Live a Life You Love. So here we are. Can you believe it? It's been a wonderful journey so far. We have come a long way. Wouldn't you agree? Thank you for making this a success. For me, it's been a lot of fun. From the feedback I've been receiving, I can tell it's been a lot of fun for you too. And I'm so excited that I took on this opportunity, this challenge, figuring it all out behind the scenes so I can make this possible for you. It's been my absolute pleasure. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your feedback, for your questions, for everything that for your engagement, right? So, wow, we have covered a lot indeed in the last 3 videos. And today, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you what resonated the most. Which teaching point, or which exercise, or which video had the greatest impact on your awareness and on your willingness or your ability to live a life you love, right? It's all about you. So I want to hear from you. So post your comments in the comment section below, or shoot me an email, give me a call. You know how to reach me by now. It's through my website, tasneemnoor.com. So welcome again. Yay. So in the last 3 videos, I've actually set up a really strong foundation for you. Using this foundation, you can build any dream of yours in the area of health, relationships, career, creative expression, financial freedom. You say it, what your dream is, and you can use this technology to build it, right? So while the steps may look different for all of us, the nature of dream building is very much the same. So it's with the dream builder's mindset and the willingness to live life with courageous faith, right? That I have full confidence you will be successful in your dream building journey and indeed live a life you love. And as you're living a life you love, I want to bring to your attention some of the wonderful benefits you will experience immediately, right? And these are, as you live the life of a dream builder, you will experience so much more joy and fun because you are present. You will have so much more success because you will recognize possibilities and honor your dream, right? You will feel so much more love and contentment because you're willing to be uncomfortable for the sake of growth. You will experience so much more abundance because you will relate to life that way. And life will reflect it back to you. It will reflect that abundance back to you. You will have so many more ideas and dreams that you will never run out of enthusiasm for living a life you truly love. And you will live every day as if it's a brand new baby day, right? Full of opportunities and adventures and possibilities and joy. You will be rich, rich with gifts of meaning, of purpose, of goodness and wisdom and gratitude and opportunities and wealth. Because you will know how to identify and receive them all. You will live a life of awe and wonder and curiosity and contentment. And you will live a life you love. So, a life you love is waiting for you. Are you ready to fully commit to your dream and say yes? That's the question. And today we're all about learning how to continue that success and how to sustain it, right? So, let me share with you a story. It's a fun story of a man who walks into a bank. He goes to the teller and he tells him, I want to cash this check. Can you please do it for me? The teller says, sure, sir. Just sign your name at the back of the check right here and give it back to me, and I'll give you your cash. The man is is bald, like, he gets all like, what? What, you want me? No way. I'm not going to sign my name on this check and give it to you just like that. What if you decide to keep the check and my money or not give me my money, right? I will not sign the check. Give me the money first and then I will sign the check. The teller explains to him that, I'm sorry, sir, this is standard practice, banking policy, and you must sign the check before I can give you the money. So the man responds and says, look, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but you have to understand my position too. I'm feeling really nervous here. And how can I just hand you over my check without any guarantee or assurance that you won't keep my money? The teller tries again and reassures him, but nothing works. So finally he says, I'm sorry, sir, I won't be able to help you. Maybe you can try some other way or some other bank, right? So he walks away, the man, and he goes into a second bank. The same thing happens. He walks into the third bank. The same thing happens. But at the third bank, there's a teller who is kind of young, right? And he's new at his job and he's impatient. So, after going through the routine of explaining the banking policy to this man, and since nothing else was working, the standard stuff he was, trained at, he has had it. He reaches out for a rubber baseball bat under his desk, takes it out, and smacks the man on his head and says, just sign the darn check." And the man is just so shocked. He doesn't even know what to do. He signs the check, gets his money, walks away, and goes to the first bank. And he finds the teller and says, "Look, I got my money at this other bank." And the teller says, "Great, I'm happy for you, but I'm sure you still had to sign the check before they gave you your money." And the man responds, "Yes, I did. But you see, no one quite explained it to me the way they did." Right? So it's a funny story, and we laugh at the man and say, how paranoid. But there's a big lesson in the story as well. And I see myself in the story. And if you take a moment, you'll see yourself in the story, in this man as well, right? So take a moment to recall your dream in your imagination and transfer that dream on paper, right? It's all written out on paper. It's a life you love living, in your home life, in your career, in your time and money freedom. I mean, everything is in there and you absolutely love it. Now, imagine yourself walking up to the teller of life, right? Instead of the teller of in the bank, you're walking to the teller of life itself. And you say, "This is it for me. This is my dream life. Will you please give me my dream? I want to live a life I love." The life looks back at you and says, "Okay, put your name on a check. It's yours." You see, putting our name on our dream check makes it real somehow, right? That act of putting our name on it is an act of commitment and trust. This is what I really want. That's what your signature says. I agree to this, right? You trust that it is possible. That's why you're writing your name down. Otherwise, it's just another thought in in your mind somewhere, another floating thought. I'm willing to take the first step in the direction of my dream. That is what your signature symbolizes, right? So now standing in front of the teller of life as you have your dream life in front of you, how do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel any nervousness or doubt creep in? Perhaps some anxiety or fear, right? Perhaps you're saying, wait a minute, I want this, but I don't know how this will work out, right? Give me more information. Let me do some more research and figure out those connections, that money, where I'm going to get from, and then I'll sign the check, right? Give me more guarantees that this will work out and this is worth my time and investment. Then I will sign the check. Let me, then I will believe it is possible. I will take the first step of signing the check if you give me those things. It's like saying that to life is like standing in front of a fire pit and saying, show me you can light up, you have the capability of it, and then I will add the wood to keep the fire burning, right? Otherwise, I'll hold on to my wood, it's precious resource. It does not work that way, right? You need to put the wood in order for the fire to emerge and to work. So life is the exact same way. We have to put our name on the check. We have to take the first step before the second or the third or the fourth, before we can have the guarantees that we desire, right? So life works just that way, and our life is no different than the banking story that I just shared with you. So, with that in mind, can you think, if you're still not clear of what I'm referring to or how this is, let me ask you another question. Can you think of a time when you refused to sign the check, put your name on the check because you didn't have any guarantees? Maybe you hesitated to make a purchase because you didn't know it was good enough, right? The rate, there weren't any, what do you call, any reviews about it. You hesitated to purchase your, to present your ideas because you didn't know how they would be received, right? You hesitated to invest your money someplace or your time someplace because so all these different scenarios are examples that are similar to the man standing in front of the teller and saying, I will not sign the check unless, you know, you give me the guarantees. So today we are talking about sustaining and growing our success. We don't want to be that man who halts his own success because he's afraid to take the first step, right? So so why is it so hard for us to sometimes sign our name on the check? In other words, what makes it difficult for us to stay on the path of sustaining and growing our success, right? So we have actually addressed some of these difficulties already in the previous videos. In videos 3 and 4, we covered how obstacles and fears and feelings of lack can hold us back when our dream starts feeling too big or too far or too much or too ideal, and doubt creeps in, right? So I invite you to go back to video 2 and 3 to refresh on how to move forward in the presence of those feelings and those fears and those questions. In video 1, we covered the principle dream building idea and talked about the dangers of condition based thinking. So today I actually want to share with you that same idea but in a different way. So you can see the significance of it, um, of how that way of thinking can stand between us and our success, right? So we all have habits. Habits are our comfortable way of living life, right? It is what we know. Therefore, when something happens unexpectedly, especially when something happens unexpectedly, we fall back on our habits and we react accordingly, right? Over time, what happens is that these habits and reactions become a predictable pattern, and they become our default way of living. And this default invisible pattern of thoughts and feelings now become installed and function as the code, right? The programming, the code that is responsible for all our decisions, our choices, and actions. This is called a paradigm. A paradigm is a set of limiting beliefs and thoughts that serve as our operating system, right? And these paradigms, this pattern of limiting beliefs and thoughts, that is responsible for creating our results. So if you want to know what your paradigms are, look at your results and you will know immediately, right? And if you want to change your results, then you must change your paradigm. Anytime you seek to experience something more or something different than before, your paradigms are activated, and they literally actively try to hold you back into the base of normalcy, right? For the familiarity, the habits, and that is condition based thinking. It doesn't want you to break away from it, because that's what you have grown to know and understand. That's your protection. So, this is why it becomes then difficult to maintain our success or to keep moving upward, because our paradigm is trying to keep us there. Whatever your level of success is, if your current level is, it's trying to keep you there, but you want to be there, right? That's why it's a dream. So, the way to change our paradigm is to consistently and repeatedly choose our response. And we talked about the importance of that as well. You see, the thing is that conditions are constantly changing. There's so many variables in our conditions um, that we experience, and they're both positive and negative, right? But our paradigms are the constant. The paradigms don't change that easily. And that is why that is the root that needs to be addressed when you want real change, when you want real success. So, with my coaching clients, my primary task, right, is to raise the awareness of their current paradigms and help them adopt new ones that are in harmony with their dreams and their highest values, right? That's what I do as a coach. I help my clients build the thinking muscle, literally. You have to build it, and their response mechanism, so they can get more comfortable operating from this new paradigm. But until that new paradigm is installed, there is a strong pull of habits that keeps coming back, like temptation. When you're trying to do a diet and you see the chocolate cake and you're like, wait, it has my name on it, it's calling me. Right? So paradigms work like that sometimes. They can show up as distractions, as dissuasions. This is better than that. What are you thinking about? Distraction. Oh my goodness, I have to do this first and then I'll take care of that. And sometimes paradigms literally get so highly activated that they just cause you to fight or flight. Like it's a breaking point, right? Either you move forward or you take a step back, fight or flight. And so that's how paradigms show up. And I help my clients to um, when the paradigms start acting up, it's kind of funny. Well, not funny, because I honor it and I recognize it as an essential part of the growing process, right? But when sometimes a client says, "Oh my goodness, I don't know if this is for me," I just their paradigms hit them, right? I'm like, "This is great news. Don't worry. This is the opportunity for you that you have been waiting for. This is the fight or flight moment, right?" And with my support, they're able to recognize it and flight, just fly, keep moving in the direction of their dreams, right? So I help my clients um, resist the pull of habits and build their new paradigm muscle, their thinking muscle. And I can help them see these invisible patterns because of two things. One, yes, I have a certain level of awareness and training, but also because I'm outside of their experience, right? And when you're outside, someone outside of your experience always has a different view than you do, right? So that is why, that is how I help my clients sign their name on their dream check and keep taking steps in the direction of their dream. So if you want this type of support, you want someone who can help you build your thinking muscles, right? You don't have to go to the gym. Just click on the link below for a strategy session, and I'd love to tell you more and see how we can make it work. The strategy session, by the way, is easily valued at 250, right? If you go to another coach or someone and say, "Hey, I just want to try out and see what you have to say. I have this specific situation, help me out." They'll charge you, and they'll charge you easily 250 or more, right? But I'm giving this to you as a gift because you matter to me. You have already invested. This is the fourth video. You have already invested 3 hours of your time in your dream, in yourself, and that says something to me. That says that you are serious. And I want to honor that, and I want to support you in continuing to invest in your time and yourselves into your dream, right? So, email me, sign up in the link below for a strategy session, and we'll get started, right? Um, when our paradigms, I also want to recognize you for one more thing. Our paradigms tell us to stay put, to tell us where we are, right? But by simply taking the steps that you have already taken, you have already been demonstrating and sending powerful messages to your psyche, to your paradigms, that you are brave enough, you are passionate enough, you are committed enough, right? You're ready. You're ready to take this to the next level. So, thank you. Thank you for being that and for being courageous and continuing it, right? And I can tell you from personal experience, it is not easy. It's simple, but it is not easy, right? Fighting our paradigms, identifying our paradigms, and fighting our paradigms and changing them. And I know because I see it in my clients. And I know how much of a difference a coach makes because I have a coach too. And he helps me to keep my paradigms in check and to keep building my muscle. So, just a real quick story I want to share with you. One of my clients texted me literally randomly, right? We didn't have a session, nothing was scheduled. She texted me randomly and it said, let me see, you have the innovative wisdom and insight of a very old soul, she said. And I'm smiling even as I'm reading it to you. And I don't know if I'm an old soul. I'm kind of young, yay. But I do offer my highest level of awareness and support and compassion and belief. That's the most important one, my belief to my clients. And it is in the presence of all of this that my clients then are able to connect with their own greatness, connect with their own solutions, right? And their own power. So I just help them connect, but the amazingness is already inside of them, right? That potential is already inside of them. So this particular client of mine who texted me, um, she was struggling with depression when I met her and anxiety. And even in the presence of loving family and friends, she was feeling really lonely, right? But when we started talking, she had a powerful vision, a powerful global vision that required her to travel the world, speak to large audiences, be financially well off, be in loving relationships. But she just didn't know. It sounded good to her, but she didn't know if it could really happen. She didn't believe in it, right? she had the doubts and the fears, and her current paradigms show up as it does in all of in all of our lives when we are trying to try something new. So um, now, though, after all the work we have been doing and our sessions and whatnot, and the action steps that she's been taking, she's in a far better place. She is feeling like an absolutely new person, right? She's more at peace with herself. She's more happy, more confident. And I asked her later on, what prompted you to send me that text? It was so random and it was a pleasant surprise. What brought it on? And she said that, she was just walking in her neighborhood for exercise, and she just had this moment when she felt this immense gratitude come over her, and she felt the shift. And she said that she could see herself choosing her perception, and that she's not as attached to her negative thinking as she was before. And it was just randomly walking down the street when she really felt that shift happen so profoundly, and she wanted to share that moment with me. So I thanked her for it, right? It warmed up my heart. And let me tell you, she is still in college. She's getting her master's degree. So while her dream of speaking globally and traveling the world and all of that is still a little while, there's a little while to go. There are other things she's wanting to do before she gets to that level. She's already living a life of her dreams, right? And the reason why is because she has changed. She is being a person she can love, to respect. She has grown to love and respect and to appreciate, right? So that is why she's already living a life she loves today. So I encourage you to start living a life you love, or continue living a life you love by taking it a notch higher, right? And sign up for a strategy session so I can help you make your shift. I can help you raise your awareness, right? So that's just something I wanted to share with you. Now for the strategies to sustain and grow our success. That's what you really wanted, didn't you? So I got you covered. And in the last video, I promised you I would go in more detail about the quote from Henry David Thoreau. And it's actually not just a quote, it's a code for success, right? So are you ready? Because I am. So lean in and listen carefully, okay? So the code, this is the code. I have learned that if one advances confidently in the direction of their dream, endeavoring to live the life they are imagining, one passes an invisible boundary and all sorts of things begin to occur that never otherwise would have occurred. One begins to meet with a success unexpected in common hours. New, more universal, more liberal laws begin to establish themselves around this person, or the old laws are rearranged in one's favor. Nevertheless, one begins to live with a license of higher order of living. Yes, it's a long code. So let me break it down to you, okay? The code, why is this a code of success, first of all? The reason is that this outlines the journey and experience of a dream builder, right? People who are successful. And this code speaks to the system of success because it brings awareness to your input, the input that is required, your role, your contribution, as well as the output, right? The result and the experience that comes about with the input. So let's look at it more carefully. I have learned, that's how he starts, that if one advances confidently in the direction of the dream, so if one, You do not have to do this, right? It's always a choice. It's a self-initiated process. If you decide, then the rest takes, um, the rest becomes relevant. If you decide not to, it doesn't happen, right? And you don't have to. There are some people who live 90 years, and there are other people who live 1 year 90 times, right? Isn't that such an incredible concept? Any one of you who has felt or feels that life is a routine and it's just day in, day out, work, hang out with friends, this, that, every week is like the week before, this is what this is speaking to. Some people live 90 years or whatever your age is, and other people live 1 year that many times, right? So, and they don't have this understanding, and they don't have a motivation to grab it. So if you do decide, and you advance confidently in the direction of your dream. Confidently does not mean that we don't get scared, right? That we are so confident, we know everything will work out, that nothing can go wrong. I'm confident, I'm in it, go, 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 like every day, every moment is a pep talk. No. Confident means that we do it afraid. Confidence means that we do it anyway, right? Confidence in the direction, in your dream. You have confidence, you have faith in your possibility. You have confidence and faith in yourself. You have confidence and faith in the system, right? That it will work out. That's what confidence is referring to. So if one advances confidently in the direction of your dream, sometimes we advance very confidently, but we don't know what towards, right? There is no clarity. So this is where the vision comes in. This no wind is favorable to the sailor who has no destination in mind, right? So you have to have a clear picture. And this then begins to serve as your motivation, your anchor. When the fear and the doubt does creep in, you have something to hold you and say, okay, this is pretty cool. I want this dream. This dream is worth fighting with my doubt and saying, I can do this. All right. Hush, I got it. Right. And the other point I want to make is I teach this to my clients. It's an important part of the whole dreaming process. And that is you lay out your dream exactly as you want it, no compromises, but you end it this way: this or something better still, right? So you leave the door open for more creativity, for more things that aren't even in your awareness to happen, right? You leave the door open for success to surprise you sometimes. So this, my dream or something better still. So if you choose, if one advances confidently in the direction of the dream, endeavoring to live a life they are imagining, right? Endeavor means attempting, making an effort. It's not a smooth sail, right? There are going to be ups and downs, uphill and downhill experiences. It's not about perfection. You learn and you execute as you move forward, right? With every step you take, you learn more. So you don't just sit back and say, oh, let me learn everything there is to learn about how to get to my dream, and then I will step out, right? You endeavor. So that right was not the right you want to say right to, right? Wrong. You don't want to wait to get perfect before you move in the direction of your dream. You want to endeavor. You want to try. You want to take one step at a time wherever you are with whatever you have, and you will always realize that you had more than you thought, right? So if one advances confidently in the direction of their dream, endeavoring to live a life they have imagined, one passes an invisible boundary, right? So we all have invisible boundaries created by our thinking. The paradigms, that's exactly what I was talking to you about earlier, right? That habitual thinking. Those are the invisible boundaries. Oh, I can run 2 miles, but 4 miles, oh my goodness, no way, I couldn't do a marathon like that. It's outside of our known capacity. So sometimes this this process of passing an invisible boundary seems effortless, it comes easily, and other times it's more scary, right? And we come against it brings our fear right there in front of our nose, and we have to deal with it. But that's just the nature of the game. When we start playing outside the bounds of our paradigm, that's when that invisible boundary is crossed and all sorts of things begin to happen. That's the next part of the quote, right? Is when one passes an invisible boundary and all things begin to occur that never otherwise would have occurred. One begins to meet with a success unexpected in common hours. So, um, all sorts of things begin to happen, meaning that this is where those people show up who are saying, "Hey, I want you. That sounds like a good idea. How can I help?" Circumstances begin to change, and you're like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know I had this resource and access to that. And oh, look, there's an opportunity, right?" And doors start opening up for you. And the solutions become more clear, they're more accessible. These are not things that you're controlling. It's just the nature of the system. Once you endeavor to live the life you have imagined, all sorts of things begin to happen. And one begins to meet with the success unexpected in common hours. Common hours is referring to common thinking, right? That can be our old paradigms, that can be the majority thinking, people who are operating from the condition based thinking, right? This is not a good time to invest, that type of thinking, right? What are you talking about? Humans can't fly, right? So one, and then so so there one begins to meet with success unexpected in common hours. That begins to happen. Then one begins to live with the license of a higher order of being. This is the cool part, right? This is the true, what do you call the sweet return of all your endeavoring. There's freedom that comes with this license. How many of you can remember getting your driver's license and how it felt once it was in your hand and you sat down behind that wheel, you are free, right? I remember that moment. I could go anywhere I wanted, anytime. I didn't have to worry about, what's the bus schedule. I didn't have to ask my parents to take me. I was free, right? And so living a life you love, a more expansive life, that happens because you have changed in this process, right? You have endeavored confidently, and therefore you have grown. Your paradigms have shifted. Your habitual thinking is new and expanded. More is possible. And so I want to put a little emphasis on the word being. So in the quote, it says, one begins to live with the license of higher order of being. So being is about you. It's all about you, right? It's not about the results that you now have, the things that manifested. It's about you, all about you. So, success does not happen in the absence of fear or obstacles or even failure. It happens in the presence of it. Okay, so right now I really want to do this. I want to show you a video. I've tested it and I'm pretty sure it will work. And you'll be able to hear it and see it just fine. Just in case the audio gives you some trouble, don't worry about it. I've deliberately chosen a video where if you just see the images are moving, if you just see and follow, you won't miss a thing. Okay, but let me bring it on. Okay, just 1 second. Let me screen share. Awesome. Or not. Oh, yes, that's what I want. Share. Yay, it's working. Awesome. So this is what I want you to see. And ta-da!
After being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. He wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years old, and his teachers said he would never amount to much. Was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. Fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. At age 11, he was cut from his team after being diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency, which made him smaller in stature than most kids his age. At 30 years old, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. A high school dropout whose personal struggles with drugs and poverty culminated in an unsuccessful suicide attempt. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything and that he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Rejected by Decca Recording Studios, who said, "We don't like their sound. They have no future in show business." His first book was rejected by 27 publishers. His fiancée died, failed in business, had a nervous breakdown, and was defeated in 8 elections. If you've never failed, you've never tried anything new.
All right. So I hope that one was interesting, huh? So let me stop the sharing. Awesome. Yay, I'm back. Wasn't that a really, really cool video? You can, by the way, Google famous failures and a whole bunch of these videos will come up. And it's amazing, right? I'm sure you could easily identify so many, if not all of those people after their names were revealed, right? Could you guess who was who before their name was revealed? I know I had a hard time doing that because we're so used to associating success with these people. We don't even imagine or we are not aware of all the failures and the challenges and in the level of endurance and in endeavorance. Is that a word? How much they have to endeavor, right? Just as the Code by Henry David Thoreau, they had to endeavor to get to the stage that they are at and they're known for now. So this is, I wanted to show that video so you can see that people we know and admire became successful even when everyone around them was married to common R thinking. They just somehow were able to break free from it, and they became successful and sustained their success and grew their success because of just one thing: their willingness. Their willingness to recommit every single time to confidently advance in the direction of their dream, endeavoring to live a life they had imagined. That is all they did. They're not any more special than you and I. They might have certain skills than I do or you do, but we all have the same potential. If you put in the input, you put in your efforts to endeavor, um, towards living a life you have imagined, then you will get the output as well. Michael Jordan, when he closed the door, yes, he did go and cry in his room, who God knows for how long. But he didn't just stop there. He also got up, got out, and went back on the court, right? And that is exactly what all these people did. And when they do that, when you do that, all sorts of things begin to happen. The world, the energies, the people, the doubters, and the supporters, everybody changes because they have changed. And their results speak, reflect that change, right? And that goes back to the code. You meet with success, unexpected and common hours, and one begins to live with the license of a higher being, right? Isn't that so powerful? So this is the life of a dream builder. This point of decision comes up numerous times. And every time you choose if you will advance confidently or change course. It's always a choice. And the thing is that don't doubt the system. Is this even a system? Could this be a coincidence? No. Because just think about it. How can everything out there in nature have a system? The sky, the lights, trees, birds, everyone has a system. But how can it be that we humans are the only ones who have to navigate through life, who have free will, and there's nothing to navigate that? It doesn't work that way, right? It happens. There is a system. And remember the basic physics principle: every action has an equal reaction. Well, that applies to us humans too. Get to know the system. Get to know what action of yours will cause what reaction, right? And then it will become easier to navigate. So I also want to point out that you can get successful without having an awareness of the system, right? In fact, most people do. Most people don't know the code, right? Think of someone right now in your life who you personally know, right? Not a celebrity or someone, but someone you personally know who is successful in your eyes, right? When I asked that question to myself, I immediately thought of my grandfather. I called him Papa. And Papa was a true visionary. He was a dream builder. He loved traveling. And during his visit to LA, one of his visits to LA, he went to Disneyland. And he was so inspired by it that he went back home to Karachi, Pakistan, my hometown, and opened the first amusement park ever in all of Pakistan, right? Not only in that city, but all of Pakistan. And he didn't stop there. He also opened the first drive-in cinema in all of Asia. And these are just his achievements in the career area, right? If I go into his personal life, just as impressive. So, Papa, he passed away when I was in fifth grade. Um, and obviously, I didn't get to have this type of conversation with him, but I can bet you that he did not read Thoreau's books, Henry David Thoreau or Napoleon Hill or any of those people. I don't think he had the knowledge or the training that I have of the system of success, right? And yet he succeeded. And so there are 2 points I want to make with this specific example. First, that the system works whether you are aware of it or not, whether you understand it or not. It works, right? It's like that invisible thing. Just like gravity, whether you understand gravity at a level of a scholar or a regular, a layman, or like a toddler who doesn't really know what gravity is. He just knows that the ball, when you throw it up, comes down. And even that, it takes him a while to figure out, right? So, whatever your knowledge of the system is, it's still working. Gravity is working, and so is the system of success. The second point I want to make with Papa's story is that Papa was that the system always works, period, right? Papa was a self-made man. No one in his family was in the entertainment industry. No one in his family did anything like what he did, not even after him, by the way, right? Um, but he didn't have the finances on hand or a system laid out for him. He didn't, he went to Disneyland, but he didn't get their secret plan on how to make it all happen. Um, and, you know, but he unknowingly, he followed the system of success. He confidently advanced in the direction of his dream, endeavoring to live the life he had imagined. He imagined an amusement park in Karachi, Pakistan. He made it happen, right? He delivered the input, he did his work, and the system he didn't even know about, the universe, right, reacted to deliver the output. So the examples are endless, and the famous failures videos demonstrate it. Some of the people listed in there know about the law of attraction and the different system and have done a lot of personal development work on their own, and others don't. So you might be thinking, well, if it works anyways, even in the absence of understanding it, then why should I? Why should I invest my time? And maybe you're thinking, well, if what you are saying is really true, then why are my results not showing it? If the system is that bulletproof, why isn't it showing it in my life, right? I'm endeavoring, I'm confidently advancing. So, great questions. The advantage of knowing the system is that you can navigate through life with far greater ease, far greater speed, and far greater grace. Your learning curve and your struggling curve dramatically shortens because you have this awareness. You're more quickly able to identify solutions. Your journey is more fun and positive. And even during the endeavoring period, right? Your mindset and your performance level, your attitude, your overall experience is far more easy because you are aware of the system. So imagine you're visiting from Jupiter and you have no idea how electricity works, but you need light. It's kind of dark. You arrived at midnight, right? So in the absence of knowing how it works, you as the Jupiterian, I don't know if that's a word, but we'll make it a word for right now, as a person from Jupiter, you have to figure it out. It might take you 5 minutes, 5 hours. You might even give up and go back to Jupiter and say, this Earth place is overrated. It's dark. I'm not interested in exploring it. I like Jupiter, right? So that might just happen. Now imagine a human walks by, you're still there trying to figure it out, and the human walks by and says, "Hey, do you want some help?" And you said, "Yes, please, I want some light." The human says, "Okay, no problem." It's that simple for him. And within 5 seconds, he teaches you on how to turn on the switch on the wall, and voila, there is light, right? Or let's say the light switch does not work. The human does not panic. He looks for the cable and realizes that the plug was loose. He puts it in properly, turns on the light switch, voila, there is light, right? Let's say even that did not work, right? Maybe he looks for the circuit box around to see if the wires are okay. Now he's putting in action, he's taking all the steps within his awareness, his current understanding of how electricity works to bring about some light. Let's say none of that works, right? None of his attempts work, and for whatever reason, the human will still not be like, "Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Light is just not meant for you. You're not destined for it. This is bad karma. You don't deserve light," right? None of that will come up because he knows it's just electricity. It has nothing to do with you and I. It's the law of electricity, right? And so there's no negative baggage around the light working or not. He'll find another way for to make that system work. Find someone else who can make it work, right? So there's nothing wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with the person, the Jupiterian, right? It's the awareness. So um, you know, here you have been trying to figure out and looking for options and solutions, feeling frustrated, inadequate. And here walks the human, and with his awareness of the electricity system, he delivers like magic. That is what I want for you, right? This is why having an awareness of the system is so crucial, because now you have all those tools in your toolkit you can put into effect as needed on an ongoing basis. So I have shared the code with you. Now it's up to you to understand it and to use it consciously, right? Practice makes perfect, and dream building is no exception. It's no different. So, the Dream Builder program I take my clients through, it's a 3-month long program that helps you not only understand the technology of success, so you know how to navigate the system, right? But with my coaching, I help you to practice and implement it with greater ease, with greater fun. Yes, it is fun. Greater speed, greater gate grace, right? So you can figure it out on your own. Yes, you can. But you can also choose to be on the accelerator track by taking on the Dream Builder program with me, right? So I want each and every one of you to be happy, to be successful, to be living a life you love living. And I hope you will choose to learn more about the Dream Builder program by signing up for it in the complimentary session, right? I'm deliberately not telling you more about it because I want you to choose if you're even interested. I want you to sign your name on the check and take the first step, which is just to get more information. There are no obligations, it's completely free. You have more to gain, nothing to lose, right? You already have an idea of my personality. It will be you and I talking on the phone. You have literally nothing to lose. All you have is to gain. And so, but if you are not willing to click the button below and go through a simple process of, making an appointment with me, then maybe this is not the thing for you, or you're not ready. And I don't, there's no shame in it, right? Wherever you are in your journey, that's fine. This is not personal. My intent is to serve you, is to support you in your dream building journey so that you are living a life you love. And if you choose to accept my offer of helping you, of coaching you, of going on this journey with you. It will be my absolute pleasure. And I guarantee that it will be a game changer for you, right? So I want to share with you a testimonial one of my clients very graciously wrote for me, gave me, and his name is Van. And he said, thanks for continuing to inspire me and keeping me expanding. Major paradigm shifts have occurred since I started working with you. With the Dream Builder technology, I have expanded my vision, I acknowledge more wins, and now focus on my journey, right? I'm more motivated and feel a greater peace of identifying with my vision. And it has allowed me to tap into much needed wisdom in pursuing my vision. I'm equipped to conquer the challenges I encounter along my journey. This is what Van had to say. So, again, I'm not going to tell you any more to sign up or any more about the program. I want you to make the decision if you're interested or not, if you're willing or not, if you want to advance confidently in the result, in the direction of your dream or not. And you want to sign up for the strategy session if you're saying yes to the following. You're saying, yes, I want to accelerate my results by learning the technology of success. You're saying, yes, I want the support of a coach who is invested in my success, who believes in me and sees my greatness. I do. Yes, if you're saying, yes, I want to invest in myself and in my dream, take another step. Your next step is to get more information. That is it. There is no obligation to sign up for a strategy session right now. Don't wait for any other sign, for any other time. Just click on the strategy session link below and just do it. You have absolutely nothing to lose, okay? So, for whatever reason, let's say you don't sign up for a strategy session right now, I don't want to leave you hanging. By the way, you always have the option to come back and sign up whenever, right? There's uh, uh, no deadline in that regard. But I don't want to leave you hanging, so I want to give you one last strategy for success so that you have a strong support structure with or without me, because that really is the key when it comes to maintain growing your success is having a support structure. So the specific strategy I want to share with you is to create a mastermind group for yourself. You can Google it and get more details on what it is, you know, how you can go about it. Again, you can email me, sign up for the strategy session. I can just tell you how to go about building your mastermind group. But really quickly, the concept of it was first formally introduced by Napoleon Hill. You can read his book, Think and Grow Rich. That's where he talks about it. And he basically, I have a quote, so let me read that. The coordination of knowledge and effort of the two or more people who work toward a definite purpose in the spirit of harmony. So it's the coordination of knowledge and effort of the group of people. No two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third, invisible, intangible force, which may be likened to a third mind, i.e., the mastermind, right? So when a group of people come together, that orientation, that combination itself is a unique combination, and it serves as the mastermind. So the basic difference between a mastermind group and any other support group or meeting or things like that is that the members are completely invested in exploring the possibilities and potential, right? They adopt a vision-based thinking approach, and they believe that if there is a problem, there is a solution. So they actively engage in this. And every member is supported visually, verbally, emotionally, right? And the basic principle is that the members believe for others even when they fully cannot believe in themselves, That's how strong the support structure is, right? So, in a mastermind group, your level of awareness and engagement is much higher. All my clients by default are in a mastermind with me. I serve as a partner in believing for them so they can, more easily access solutions and take actions with courageous faith, right? I support them and hold them accountable. I ask more expansive, higher vibrational questions. I take them deep and I take them far in the land of opportunities and possibilities. So nothing is off the table. No dream is impossible, really. No dream is too big or too small. It is your dream and it is precious, and I honor your dream, right? So borrow my belief anytime uh, you need it. Reach out to me for support anytime. I'm here. I want to support you. I want to serve you. I want to join you in your journey of dream building. But it's time to say goodbye. So I leave you with lots and lots of warm wishes and encouragement and motivation and inspiration to stay strong, to stay courageous, to stay, just vibrant, to continue dreaming and exploring and engaging with life, right? And asking better quality questions, doing it afraid. Enjoy your dream building journey. Don't take it too seriously. Enjoy it. And most importantly, no matter what you do, no matter where you are, live a life you love. You deserve it. It's yours. Sign your name to on the check and make it happen. All right. Take care. Stay in touch. Bye.